In the last class, we have seen what is meant by a black body. So, a black body is a body which will absorb 100% radiation energy, and we have seen what is meant by absorptive power. Your absorptive power is energy absorbed by incident energy, and we have also seen that your absorptive power is equal to emissivity, and your emissive power is equal to your energy per unit area, per unit time, per unit solid angle, and I told you we will neglect the solid angle, right? Now, in the last class, okay, I have explained only that much, and I told you for a black body A is 1, which will automatically make E equal to 1 for black body. This I have explained in the previous class, okay? Now, in today's class, what is that we are going to see is, we are going to see what is known as Stefan-Boltzmann law, okay. So, what will your Stefan-Boltzmann law do? I will tell you. Now, let us take a body, okay. Now, for this body, okay, let us say the area is A, radius is R, okay. Now, I am talking of surface area is A. Now, if this body's temperature, if I am assuming it as TB, surrounding temperature as Ts, okay, what will Stefan-Boltzmann law explain is, okay, it talks about energy radiated per unit time and energy absorbed per unit time. It talks about two things, that is, how much energy it is sending out per unit time and how much energy it is absorbing per unit time, okay. So, now your energy per unit time, okay, energy per unit time, if I represent it as U, what is small u? This is your energy radiated per unit time, okay. So, it is nothing but your energy by time. Energy by time is nothing but your power. So, in books you will have this symbol small u, okay. It is energy per unit time. That is, in 1 second, how much energy it is giving out, okay. If you take this as u, this u is, okay, this is energy radiated. U radiated is energy radiated. Experimentally, it was found out that, which is quite logical, it is directly proportional to your surface area, okay. So, if this surface area is capital A, okay, if there is more surface area, what happens? More energy will start coming out of this body. If there is less surface area, less energy will be emitted out of this. Now, it is directly proportional to A, okay, which is quite obvious. Next, it is also directly proportional to temperature of body power 4, okay. Your energy radiated is directly proportional to temperature of body power 4. Here temperature is in Kelvin scale, temperature is in absolute scale in the sense I am referring to Kelvin scale, okay. It was experimental observation given by this scientist Stefan and Boltzmann, okay, right. Now, if you combine these two, okay, if you combine these two, okay, your energy radiated is, if it is black body, okay, it is different. If it is for normal body, okay, it also depends on emissivity. So, it is emissivity A into area of surface into temperature of body power 4. Now, removing this proportionality constant, your energy radiated is E into sigma into A into temperature of body power 4. Okay, this sigma is called as, okay, this sigma is called as Stephen's constant. Okay, sigma is called as Stephen's constant, and your sigma value is, okay, your sigma value is, you can remember it this way, I will write it this side. Your sigma is Stephen's constant. It is 5.67 into 10 power 8. What is the unit means? Okay, for this, what is the unit? Watt. Okay, for E, unitless, there is no unit. For this, it is meter square. For this, it will become Kelvin power 4. Okay, so E is no unit. Okay, there is no unit for E, it is unitless quantity. So automatically, what is your sigma unit means? Watt per meter square Kelvin power 4. Okay, so it is your, okay, Boltzmann constant. Okay, right? So sorry, Stephen's constant. Boltzmann constant K is R by Na. Don't get confused with that. Your Boltzmann constant you will study in chemistry, that is R by Na. Okay, that is different. Okay, that is 1.38 into 10 power something, you will get it. That is different, this is different. This is your Stephen's constant. Sigma is your Stephen's constant. Okay, so Boltzmann constant is different, don't get confused. It is gas constant R by Avogadro number. Okay, now this Stephen's constant you can remember it this way, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, sequential numbers. So 5.67 into 10 power minus 8. Okay, now cut short, the conclusion of the story is, okay, how much energy, this is because of internal temperature. Okay, this is being emitted because of internal temperature. Okay, because of internal temperature, your heat energy is being emitted, and that energy radiated per unit second, unit time. Okay, so because of the internal temperature, in unit amount of time, how much energy is being radiated is given this way. Okay, right? Hope there are no doubts. Okay, what is that I am doing? I am taking a body. Okay, I am taking a body, and for that body, okay, for that body, what is that I am doing is, I am calculating how much energy it is emitted, I mean it is emitting per second. Okay, in 1 second, how much energy? This U radiated is indirectly nothing but your dq radiated per unit time, dq by dt. Okay, in 1 second, how much energy this body emits out? That is your dq by dt. Okay, your energy radiated per unit time is directly proportional to area of the surface, and it is temperature of body. Okay, here this A is, we will just simply take the area of body, but it is strictly speaking surface, and here your TB is not the temperature of body, strictly speaking you have to consider temperature of surface. Okay, this is your surrounding temperature. Okay, it is your surrounding temperature. Okay, this is your temperature of body, but in this expression I want you to consider your temperature of surface. Okay, from the surface how much energy is being emitted, that you have to take it. Okay, right? Hope there are no doubts. Now this body is, okay, here we are talking of radiation. Okay, energy radiation. Okay, now if I talk of absorption, okay, so any body we have proved that your emissivity is equal to absorptivity. Okay, how much it is emitting to keep the temperature constant for the body, it will also absorb. Okay, right? Now we have proved that at constant temperature E is equal to A. Now in general, okay, whenever a body emits, okay, it will automatically absorb. This according to Kirchhoff's law, all good emitters are also good absorbers. So according to Kirchhoff's law, your energy absorbed per unit time according to same logic directly proportional to A. It is directly proportional to Ts is what? Temperature of surrounding. Okay, so if you combine these two, your energy absorbed is directly proportional to absorptive power A into, okay, area into temperature of surrounding power 4. Your energy absorbed per unit time is, Okay, it is A into sigma into A into temperature of surrounding power 4. Okay, so here also same things. Okay, this is what energy radiated per second. Okay, this is energy radiated per second. This is what energy absorbed per second. Okay, your energy absorbed per second. Okay, right? So this is what your Stephen Boltzmann law is explaining, and out of this you have to remember this Stephen's constant as well. Okay, now from this part we are going to derive an important law. What is that? Is your Stephen Boltzmann law. Using that we are going to explain what is known as Newton's law of cooling. Okay, there is something called Newton's law of cooling. To explain that Newton's law of cooling, okay, right, we are deriving this. Okay, now Newton, okay, actually he has interfered into every scientist business. Okay, so Newton is in everything. Okay, he left nothing. He tried to keep his hands into entire physics. Okay, right? So many genius people will think now, if Newton would have died early, we don't have the headache of gravity. We don't have lot of things. Right. Now I have explained, okay, how much is energy radiated and how much is the energy absorbed. Okay, now what is that I am going to do is, okay, now let us say you have a body. Okay, its mass is m, specific heat is S. Okay, you have a body of mass m, specific heat S. Okay, what is happening to this body is, okay, its temperature is T. Okay, and your surrounding temperature is T naught. Okay, T naught is temperature of surrounding. Okay, T is temperature of body. Surface area, let us say it is A. Okay, now what is that I am going to do is, I am going to derive Newton's law of cooling expression. But first, before that, what is that I am going to do is, I am going to calculate your rate of cooling. Okay, rate of cooling and your rate of loss of temperature, both are there here. Okay, so now first we will derive, okay, what is known as your cooling by radiation. First we will do this. Cooling by radiation. Okay, cooling by radiation is what we are going to discuss first. Okay, now in cooling by radiation, okay, so first your energy radiated per unit time, U radiated is E into sigma into A into temperature power 4. Okay, your energy absorbed per second, okay, it is A into sigma into A into T naught power 4, where T is temperature of body, T naught is temperature of surrounding. Now let us subtract these two values, minus minus. Okay, so your net value is, okay, your net loss of energy, assuming your T is greater than T naught, okay, your temperature of body, if it is greater than T naught, okay, what happens is your body will lose energy. So your net loss of energy here is going to become, this E and A are equal. Okay, we have seen from Kirchhoff's law, emissivity of a body is equal to absorptivity. Okay, this I have proved yesterday. Okay, so now I can take E sigma A constant out, and this will give you temperature of body power 4 by temperature of surrounding power 4. Okay, right? Hope there are no doubts in this. Okay, now keep this in mind. Okay, this expression will give you what? This expression signifies, okay, this expression, this will signify, okay, your net loss of heat energy, net loss of heat, okay, per second. Okay, per second. Indirectly its unit is watt. Okay, watt is the unit. Okay, keep this point in mind. If you have any doubts, just let me know. Okay, right? So this will give you, this expression will give you net loss of energy, okay, per second. Okay, net loss of heat energy per second. Okay, now keep this in mind. Okay, now we'll derive, okay, next expression is your rate of cooling. Okay, next we will derive rate of cooling. So your rate of cooling, what it will do, I will explain. Observe very carefully. Okay, your rate of cooling is, okay, what is your rate of cooling is, okay, now your net loss of heat energy is indirectly nothing but your internal energy loss. Now I have explained in calorimetry chapter very clearly that your internal temperature dQ by dt is equal to ms delta theta, that we have seen, right? So now here your dq net by dt is, it is, okay, E into sigma into A into temperature of body power 4 minus temperature of surrounding power 4. This we have seen. Now what is your dq by dt is, okay, we have seen that your dq is ms dt, okay, dq is m into s into dt, delta q is m into s into delta t. This we have seen in calorimetry chapter. Okay, now I am going to express this dq back into this equation. Okay, this we have seen in the previous chapter. Okay, your net heat loss is ms delta theta. Okay, the temperature loss or gain is given by that. Now, okay, it is m into s into, okay, what is that I will do is dq by dt I will keep a minus sign times derivative of temperature with respect to time. Why this negative sign means your temperature decreases with respect to time. Okay, your rate of heat transfer in conduction also I told you. While we are writing the average value, we will not keep the negative sign. But while we are writing the instantaneous value in the expression, okay, we have written it this way: dq by dt is minus ka d theta by dx, okay, or derivative of temperature with respect to x, like this we have written. Why did we write this only in the instantaneous value? I did not write in the average value. Okay, so to indicate that your temperature is decreasing, okay, we will keep a minus sign here. So minus ms dt by dt is equal to E into sigma into A into temperature power 4 minus temperature of surrounding power 4. Now from here your minus dt by dt is, okay, E sigma A by m s temperature of body power 4 minus temperature of surrounding power 4. Okay, so what will this expression finally give you is, this expression will give you your rate of cooling. Rate means with respect to time. So rate of cooling is nothing but your rate of decrease of temperature. So minus dt by dt is E sigma A by ms into t power 4 minus t naught power 4. Okay, so copy this stuff down. Okay, based on this we will do some simple examples. Okay, hope you have understood it. Your rate of cooling is different, your net loss of heat energy is different. Both expressions are different. Based on this, I will give you simple examples. Okay, you should do this stuff. Okay, right? Come on. Okay, right. Hope you have understood it and there are no doubts. I will continue. So now I will give you an example for understanding sake. Let us say you have, okay, it is your previous question, JEE question, okay, long back. What is your question? I will tell you. You have a solid sphere whose radius is r. This is solid. Okay, right? This is A. One more sphere is there, but it is a shell. Okay, of negligible thickness. Okay, same material. It is B. Its radius is also r. Question is, okay, your net loss is more or net heat loss is more in A or B. Okay, other options are given, or is it equal? Okay, right? But I will okay, I will give that option also. Is A equal to B? A is greater than B, A is less than B. This is one question. Okay, and your rate of cooling, that is your temperature will decrease per unit time in which A is greater than B, A is less than B, or A equal to B. Both are different questions. Okay, right? Now try the answer. Okay, same material. Okay, both are of same material. One is solid and other is hollow. Okay, so try to give the answer in this case. Okay, you have to think logically and then give the answers. So this is hollow. Now for the first bit, if you are taking the answer, okay, now if you mark this as option 1, option 2, option 3. Now if you look at net heat loss, your emissivity, same material, E is same, sigma is same, okay, A is also same, both are at same temperature, T and T, temperature of surrounding is T0 if you take, okay, your A is equal to B. Right? Getting my point? Here I am taking the situation in this case at a particular instant. Your net heat loss is, okay, is dash, okay, more, or is it take A equal to B? My question, you frame it, language little went little bad, okay, is A is, I mean, in which it is more means it is equal, okay. Why it is equal? This is same, this is same, this is same, this is same, this is same. I told you here you have to take area of surface. So your surface area is same in both. Okay, right? At this particular instant that you take, okay, your R is same. Now if you come to rate of cooling, okay, your rate of cooling if you take, will it be same or it will be different? Okay, your rate of cooling if you take, okay, on the numerator E, sigma, A, all are same, but what is different is your M. Okay, your M is more for first case. If M is more, it will cool less. Okay, your M is what? Inversely proportional to this rate of cooling. Rate of cooling is inversely proportional to M. So now for first part, mass is more. If M is more, rate of cooling is less. So your A is less than B is the correct answer. Okay, your rate of decrease of magnitude of temperature that you take here, it is less for A and more for B. Whereas your net heat loss, it is dependent only on the surface area. It will be same for both. Okay, right? Now this expression, okay, is important, your rate of cooling expression. Now from this we will derive your important idea, that is your Newton's law of cooling. Okay, so I will erase this. Okay, you can pause the video clip, copy this stuff down. Now the example that I am going to discuss is very important. So now what is that we got? We got your rate of cooling expression is minus dt by dt equal to E into sigma into A by ms, all that stuff. So now from that we are going to see problems part will come from here, what is known as your Newton's law of cooling. Okay, so every two papers that you take, one question will come till, it was coming till 2018. Every alternate year minimum it is coming, and from 2018 in one of the shifts this question is definitely coming. Okay, so this question is important. Okay, based on Newton's law of cooling. So now for that, okay, what will I do is your rate of cooling expression is, okay, minus dt by dt is E into sigma into A by m into s into temperature of body power 4 minus temperature of surrounding power 4. This is what you got. Okay, now I will rearrange this expression, okay, using binomial approximations. How I will tell you. Okay, now let, okay, I am assuming let, okay, delta T is equal to T minus T naught, your temperature difference between body and temperature of surrounding. I am assuming it to be T naught, okay, for some body. Okay, now what is the advantage of approximation? First I need to tell you that. Okay, now for example, if you have a body at 45 degrees centigrade and if it is coming with, in time t1 it is coming to temperature 30 degrees centigrade. Now in further time t, okay, how much time it takes to come to 20 degrees centigrade, this I can calculate, or if this is known, this can be calculated, because what will this expression do? This expression is ultimately relating your temperature with respect to time. So at the present moment, if I know the temperature, after how much time, what is the temperature, that I can decide using Newton's law of cooling. Okay, so we can guess the what is going to be the temperature from Newton's law of cooling and then do the calculations. If the same rate of heat flow or net loss of heat, if it is same, okay, we can guess it. Okay, like for example, if you are taking microwave ovens, okay, how do you actually decide how much time it takes for some object to get heated? Means you can use this Newton's law of cooling. So room temperature is this much, I need to heat my food to this much temperature. To do so, how much is required? Means I can do this calculation, right? So in lot of applications are there for Newton's law of cooling, but ultimately cut short, okay, after how much time, what is the final temperature, or to get this much temperature, how much time it takes, that we need to calculate and then do the simplification. Okay, right? So now here, get this point, get this idea very clearly. Now if your delta T is T minus T naught, okay, what is that I can do is, I can write T is delta T plus T naught. Okay, now it can also be written as, if I take T naught out, this will become 1 plus delta T by T naught. Okay, T naught plus delta T, if I take T naught out, this will become 1 plus delta T by T naught. So your temperature can also be written as this much. Okay, now keep this aside. Okay, right? Next, when x is very much less than n, your 1 plus x whole power n is equivalent to 1 plus nx. Okay, so I am going to use all these approximations now. Okay, so what is your Newton's law of cooling is, okay, if you take this entire thing and express it, okay, by rearranging it, okay, so minus dt by dt can be written as your this expression, that can be written as E into sigma into A by m into s times, okay, it can be written as T is, okay, T naught times 1 plus delta T by T naught this expression whole power 4, okay, minus T naught power 4, okay, right. So this is going to be our final expression. Now out of this, once again I will take T naught power 4 common, so this will give you T naught power 4 times 1 plus delta T by T naught whole power 4 minus T naught power 4, okay. Now once again T naught power 4 I will take common, but before that, if this delta T by T naught is very much less than 1, okay, if delta T by, I will write that condition, if delta T is very much less than T naught, your 1 plus delta T by T naught whole power 4 can be written as 1 plus 4 delta T by T naught, okay. What is that I am doing? I am using binomial approximation. So continuing this expression, that will become E sigma A by ms into T naught power 4 times 1 plus 4 into delta T by T naught minus T naught power 4. Your plus T naught power 4 minus T naught power 4 will cancel off. So you are going to get E sigma A by ms into T naught power 4 times 4 into delta T by T naught, okay. So this plus T naught power 4 minus T naught power 4 will cancel off, okay, right. So you are going to get E into sigma into A by ms into 4 E sigma A times delta T by this part is T naught cube, okay. So this is your minus dt by dt, okay, right. What is delta T? Temperature. So if I rearrange, if I replace this entire term with some constant K, your Newton's law of cooling expression is minus dt by dt is K times temperature of body minus temperature of surrounding, okay. So this expression is your Newton's law of cooling. So what is the advantage of this? I will explain in detail now. Copy this stuff down. If you have any doubts, just let me know. Okay, so rate of cooling expression you remember, and remember this minus dt by dt. What are all the terms? E sigma A, K, M, S, all that stuff. Okay, hope there are no doubts. Okay, now we'll erase this stuff. Hope you have copied down. Now I want you to focus on certain things now, because this expression, okay, I have derived it. Now if you do not know when to use it, what is the initial condition, then whatever I am explaining, that will just simply go waste. So your rate of cooling minus dt by dt is, it can be written as K times temperature of body minus temperature of surrounding. This I have told you, it is your Newton's law of cooling. But when is this valid? When delta T by T naught is very much less than 1. When 1 plus x whole power n is 1 plus nx, provided only when x is very much less than 1. Now when to use this delta T by T naught, you should obviously know it, okay, or else there is no point. Now here this temperature is in which scale? Kelvin scale. Okay, right? Now normally if you take the temperature at 0 degrees centigrade, it is 273 Kelvin, and if it is some 27 degrees centigrade, it will become 300 Kelvin. So around 300 Kelvin your denominator will be there. Okay, it could be around 273 to, if you are taking some 50 degrees centigrade, 27 plus 5 means it is around 322, but normally if I take, this is your 0 degrees centigrade, how much this is means this is your 27 degrees centigrade, and 322 means it is around 50 degrees centigrade, 27 plus 5 32. Okay, now roughly if you are taking, it is close to 300 in the denominator, and in the numerator how much number by 300 is very much less than 1 means, okay, your 30 by 100 if you take, for example 30 by 100 is 1 by 10, so it is 0.1, is very much less than 1. So close to some 20 to anything less than 30 degrees centigrade I can take it. Okay, my temperature difference, usually this delta T should be in the range of how much means it should be anywhere close to maximum 30, but some 25 to 30 degrees centigrade, such that, okay, 25 to 30 degrees centigrade temperature difference must be there between the body and surroundings, then this approximation will work out. Okay, so if this, okay, your temperature between the body's temperature and surroundings temperature should be less, or else you don't have a choice, you have to go by your Newton's law of cooling expression only and then simplify. Okay, right? So now this expression I have derived it and we have expressed it. Okay, fine, no issues. Now let us try to, okay, put this in a better way. Okay, now, okay, final logical calculation. Okay, let us consider your T initial is, temperature initial is Ti, temperature final is Tf, temperature of surrounding is T0. Okay, now what is that I will do is, I will try to calculate how much time your body takes to calculate from T initial, I mean to reach this T final temperature from T initial, how much time it takes, I will try to calculate. Okay, what is your final target in this expression is, from T initial to upon cooling T final, how much time it takes. Okay, that I am trying to calculate based on Newton's law of cooling. Okay, what is this expression? It is your Newton's law of cooling. Okay, Newton's law of cooling. So some interesting examples we will see, don't worry. So we will do few problems to understand this better, but first, okay, here if you are taking this expression, okay, now first of all, okay, in this expression that you have here, okay, what will happen is, we have seen minus dt by dt is k times t minus t naught. Okay, what is that I am doing? I am doing the calculation here. Okay, now let's rearrange. Minus dt by t minus t naught is k times dt. Okay, now integrate on both sides. If you integrate t equal to 0, you will have initial temperature T initial, time t you will have final temperature T final, right, where T naught is your temperature of surrounding. Okay, so now what is integral of 1 by ax plus b means? Okay, your integral of dx by ax plus b is ln of ax plus b by a, right? So from that expression this will become, okay, if you have learnt integration properly, okay, what will this become is ln of, okay, ln of, you send that minus to other side as well, minus also I will send it to other side, okay, ln of t minus t naught is equal to, send that minus sign to other side, this side will become minus k times t from 0 to t, okay. Here your limits are from t initial to t final, okay. So rearranging this further, this will become ln of t final minus t naught minus ln of t initial minus t naught is equal to minus k times t, okay. So this is what you are going to get. Now ln A minus ln B is ln of A by B. So your ln of t final minus t naught by t initial minus t naught is equal to minus kt, okay. This you have to remember, okay. For problem solving it will help you out, okay. Remember this, okay, because if I simplify further, okay, I will get in terms of E, but this will help you out. If I rearrange this, t final minus t naught by t initial minus t naught is how much, means it is e power minus kt, okay. So from here t final minus t naught is t initial minus t naught times e power minus kt, okay. So simplifying this further, your t final is t initial minus t naught times e power minus kt plus t naught. So I have calculated your final temperature in terms of initial temperature. This also you should remember, but more useful. How, I will tell you now with an example. Please copy it down. Okay, your Newton's law of cooling expression is only this much, but rearranging it we have got this. This is useful while solving the problems, okay. Shortcut is also still further there, okay, but you remember this expression, it will help you a lot in solving the problems, okay. Now it's time for me to erase this stuff. Hope you have copied it down. Now let us do a simple question, okay. Now let us say, okay, I need this expression. I told you how it is useful. To understand it better, I will tell you. A body is there from 40 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade. It takes 5 minutes time. From 30 to 20 degrees centigrade, how much is the time, means what is your answer? Will you say 5? Do not say that, because this much efforts will go waste if you say 5. For 10 degrees centigrade if it is 5, for another 10 if you say 5, then nobody, only God can help you, okay, not even human beings, or God also will reject you, okay. So now how will you do this question? Okay, here you cannot directly do this question, you need to even consider temperature of surroundings. The question is itself first of all incomplete. Let us say your surrounding temperature is 10 degrees centigrade, okay, because your 30 to 20 thing, if your surrounding temperature is somewhat 25, then your body will not cool to 20, it will stop at 25 itself, okay, getting my point? Your body will stop at 25 itself, okay, if surrounding temperature is 25, okay, your body will cool down only till temperature of surrounding is equal to temperature of body, but beyond that, that will not happen. So now if you try to do solution to this question, okay, if you are taking this, your ln of, according to my formula, t final minus t naught by t initial minus t naught is equal to minus k into T. Okay. Now for the first process, if you are taking, okay, for the first process if you are taking the time as T1, okay, so it will become ln of final temperature 30 minus surrounding temperature 10 by, okay, for first process ln of 30 minus 10 by initial temperature is 40 minus 10, that is equal to minus k times your T is 5. For the second process, if you are doing this calculation, okay, your ln of, okay, how much is this means, okay, your final value is, for the second process it is from 30 to 20, so 20 minus 10 by, okay, it is 20 minus 10 by, it is 30 minus 10 is equal to minus k times T. Okay, for the first process initial temperature is 40, final temperature is 30. For the second process initial temperature is 30, final temperature is 20. I have applied those expressions. Now you divide it. Okay, you divide it. So that will give you how much means ln of 30 minus 10, 20. So ln of 2 by 3 is minus k times 5. This side expression is ln of, okay, it is 20 minus 10, 1 by 2 is equal to minus k times T. Divide this expression and that expression. So you are going to get ln of 2 by 3, sorry, ln of 1 by 2 whole divided by ln of 2 by 3 is minus k times T by minus k times 5. Minus k will cancel off. Your T is 5 ln of, okay, it is 1 by 2 whole divided by ln of 2 by 3. Using logarithms you can further simplify. Okay, right. Now here your temperature difference range is only 10 degrees centigrade, so I am able to apply Newton's law of cooling. But if in the question itself, if I am giving you some 100 to 200 degrees centigrade, okay, if you apply Newton's law of cooling, obviously you are going to get the wrong answers. Okay, please do not do that stuff. Okay, right. Next, one more idea is, okay, I will erase this, I will show you some shortcut. Hope you have copied it down. Okay, one more shortcut we will do. Okay, so this shortcut you should not apply as you wish, but if it is around 5 degrees centigrade or some 2 degrees centigrade, you can do this. My point is, your Newton's law of cooling minus dt by dt can also be written as k times your theta 1 plus theta 2 by 2 minus theta naught. That is your temperature of surrounding. This is your average temperature. Okay. Now I don't have time. In problem solving session I will give you proof to this part. Okay. But you can do using this method as well. But you should not keep minus dt by dt. You have to keep average value. So because here we have linear variation, it is allowed. It is delta t by delta t is written as this way. Average value. Okay, your delta theta. Okay, this is your delta theta. This is your temperature difference. Okay, so your temperature difference. This mostly people will use in problems. This is your time. Okay, and theta 1 is initial temperature, theta 2 is final temperature. You have to take the average value. Okay, now let me give you a question, then you will have clarity. Okay, but this you have to use it around 5 degrees centigrade temperature difference. Okay, right, very close values you can do this. Now based on this, if I try to do a question, okay, your question is this: a body is cooling from 50 degrees centigrade to 45 degrees centigrade in 5 minutes. From 45 to 40 in 8 minutes. Find temperature of surrounding. Okay. Now if you take the temperature difference, it is close to 5 degrees centigrade. Okay. Around 10 also people will apply in the problems. Logically it is not correct, but we don't have a choice. In the books and in the exam also people will use this formula only. Okay. So try it and give the answer fast. So if you are doing this, your temperature difference, what is this delta theta? It is your temperature difference. Okay. So for this part, it is 50 minus 45 by 5 is K times 50 plus 45 by 2 minus theta of surrounding. For the second process, 45 minus 40 by 8 is equal to K times. Okay. I did not keep minus sign for the average. If you keep minus sign also, still it will cancel off. 45 plus 40 by 2 minus theta of surrounding. Okay. Take this as 1, take this as 2, divide 2 by 1. Okay. You will get an expression in terms of theta. You will get around 34.2 degrees centigrade is your answer. Okay, your temperature of surrounding. Divide these two expressions. K will cancel off. Okay, right? You can solve it like this, and there are a lot of other basic questions as well. You will be able to do those. Okay. Now, next. Your next part is, okay, we will try to calculate, okay, through an example. Next part, okay. Wait, we have Wien's law that we forgot. Okay, right. Now, next is your Wien's law. Okay, lot of basic questions will be asked in this Wien's law. Okay, Wien's law is there and its displacement law is also there. Both are different, but meaning is same. Both are related to each other. So, without wasting time, I will tell you. Now, if you take a body and if its temperature is some T, it will give, obviously, any body whose temperature is greater than 0 Kelvin, it will start emitting out radiation. Okay, right? Now, when this body is emitting out radiation, okay, it will emit as you keep changing the temperature, okay, at constant temperature or at different temperatures, it will keep emitting radiation. At as long as temperature is greater than 0 Kelvin, it will start emitting radiation energy. Now, at a particular temperature, if you take, okay, at a particular temperature, if you take this radiation will have some wavelength lambda. Okay. Now, your energy emitted can be from 0 to infinity. Your body can emit as much of energy as it want. As a result, your body also will have wavelength. Okay, your energy is inversely proportional to lambda. So that means your lambda is inversely proportional to E. So your wavelength also will lie between 0 to infinity. Now, out of this emitted radiation, okay, so it can emit any radiation. Okay, you have your electromagnetic spectrum, gamma, XU, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible region, infrared rays, microwaves, radio waves. Okay, like this, lot of radiations are possible. Out of this, we have VIBGYOR colors in the visible region. Now, if you are taking this VIBGYOR colors, okay, right, if this radiation that is being emitted is in the infrared region or microwaves, radio waves, nothing in that region it is not visible. But if this is in the visible region, then this object will be visible with a particular color of that particular wavelength. If it is wavelength is red, it will be red. Okay, but while it is emitting energy, it will emit energies of all wavelengths. It's like if it is showing red color, that doesn't mean it is emitting only red. Okay, others are also possible, but they are not visible. But while this object is being visible in red color, mostly or maximum radiation that is being emitted is in red color. But it doesn't mean that other radiations are not there. Okay, other radiations are also there, but relatively it is in lesser quantity. Okay, right? So for more amount of time it is in red color if it is showing red color like that. Okay, so now what did this Wien do is, okay, he took intensity versus wavelength graph. Okay, he took intensity versus wavelength graph and he plotted this graph for different bodies. Okay, your Wien's law, what it says is, okay, out of all the radiations emitted, okay, your maximum wavelength or maximum intensity of radiation will occur at a particular wavelength which is known as your lambda m. Okay, so at constant temperature, at a particular temperature, this body will emit different radiations. Out of that, for one particular wavelength, your body will have, okay, maximum intensity. Okay, that is your threshold wavelength. Okay, so at this threshold wavelength, your lambda m into T is constant and it is in fact B. Its value is 0.288 centimeter Kelvin. Okay, this lambda into T is your Wien's constant. This is your Wien's law. Okay, right? Out of this, many radiations emitted. Okay, for a particular wavelength, intensity of the radiation emitted is maximum. Okay, if you are trying to capture intensity at this point, for example, your intensity is maximum at a particular wavelength. That wavelength is lambda m into T equal to 0.288 centimeter Kelvin. For example, if I give you wavelength is, your temperature is, for example, 300 Kelvin. Now find wavelength where maximum intensity is present means, what will you do? Okay, for what wavelength or maximum intensity wavelength if it is asked, or if wavelength is asked and temperature is asked, you can relate this. So here lambda max will become 0.288 into 1 centimeter is 10 power minus 2 whole divided by temperature is 300. You simplify, you will get the answer in terms of nanometers or Armstrong, whatever. Okay, so 1 nanometer is 10 power minus 9 meters, 1 Armstrong is 10 power minus 10 meters. Okay, so like this you can calculate the answer. Okay, right? So this is your first part, and your displacement law is, okay, what is your displacement law? I will tell you. Now here this is your Wien's law at constant temperature. Now if you change the temperature, okay, for different materials, if you are trying to draw the same graph, okay, now your lambda into T is constant, that implies your lambda is inversely proportional to temperature, right? So now if you keep drawing different graphs, okay, so T1 if it is T1, if it is T2, if this is T3, okay, your values of wavelengths is, they will be like this. So from here, okay, you can write lambda 1 into T1 is equal to lambda 2 into T2, that is equal to lambda 3 into T3. Now for smaller wavelength, more temperature. Here next middle wavelength, middle temperature, bigger wavelength, smaller temperature, like this, such that your lambda into T is constant. This is only your Wien's displacement law. Okay, right? So with this your Wein's law is done. Okay, so just simple, you can use that wavelength and temperature relation is given by Wein's displacement law. That much if you remember, it is more than enough for mains. And in the problems, you have to use this lambda T relation 0.288 centimeter Kelvin, you have to remember and then do the calculation. Okay, right. Next is a small part, we are supposed to calculate your temperature of sun. Okay, your next thing is calculation of temperature of sun. Okay, right. Now for the sun we will define something called as solar constant. Okay, I will talk about it now. Just let me check the time. Okay, right. Now your next thing is we are supposed to calculate your temperature of sun. Okay, now before that let me write the values. Okay, now let us say you have sun here, you have earth here. Okay, let us say the distance this radius is capital R, this radius is smaller, that part is smaller. Now let us say your capital T is temperature of sun. Okay, we are trying to calculate temperature of sun. How is that, I will tell you. Okay, now what we will do is, okay, we will try to calculate the temperature of sun. Now yesterday I have explained, okay, in the previous lecture I have explained that, okay, your intensity reaching earth is, okay, it is power output by 4 pi r square. Okay, right. Intensity is energy by area into time, energy by time is power output. Now your energy radiated is U is E into sigma into A into temperature of sun power 4 minus temperature of surrounding power 4, you have to write. But this term negligible because sun is itself, it is at very high temperature. Okay, so your emissivity, sun is close to black body, so this part is anyhow going to become 1. So this part is going to become 1. So what is that you have? Okay, you have sigma into what is surface area of sun means, it is sigma into 4 pi capital R square into temperature power 4. Here I am substituting 1. This is your energy radiated per unit time. Okay, hope there are no doubts. Okay, now this expression that you have is called as solar constant. Okay, this expression that you have is called solar constant. Your solar constant S is, okay, your solar constant S is sigma into 4 pi capital R square times temperature power 4 by 4 pi into small r square. 4 pi will cancel off. So what is that you are getting is, okay, you are going to get it as your solar constant as R by R whole square times temperature of body power 4. Now from here your T is T power 4 is, okay, S into small r by capital R whole square. Your temperature is S into S times R by R whole square whole power 1 by 4. Okay, now keep this expression in mind. Now your solar constant is given as 1.4. okay, I don't remember these values, that is why I am looking into the book and substituting it. And your distance is 1.58 into 10 power 8 kilometers. Okay, you have to convert this into meters later. and your capital R value is 7 into 10 power 5 kilometers. Okay, right? Substituting all these values, your sigma value is anyhow, okay, I forgot sigma. Where is sigma? Here there is sigma, here there is sigma, here there is sigma. Okay, substitute sigma value is 5.67 into 10 power minus 8. Substituting all these values, you will get approximate temperature as 5800 Kelvin. Okay, now concentrate. Okay, this solar constant is given by scientists, they have calculated it, I can tell you, but in modern physics you will get more clarity about solar constant. Don't worry too much about it now. Sigma proportionality constant, distance is, okay, your light travels with a speed of 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Okay, so around 6 minutes or 8 minutes, I don't remember it, your sunlight takes to travel from outer space from sun to earth. So your distance is equal to speed into time. So you can calculate the distance. Okay, 3 into 10 power 8 into how much time you are getting, from that you can give this answer. So you can give small r. Your capital R also, from the energy, intensity of energy, I mean intensity of radiation, you can calculate this. Okay, so once you get all this stuff, your temperature of sun is calculated this way. Okay, right? So with this we will stop this. Okay, now from my side your heat transfer is done. From your side is you need to do lot of problems. Okay, right? So now from problem solving sessions you will have more clarity. Okay, conceptually I have covered everything. So please do keep watching these videos again and again till you get it, and once you have understood the entire logic of this part, it will be easy only. Okay, so whenever you are getting stuck at a particular problem, come back to the video, watch that portion of the segment, refer the ideas perfectly, and then start solving the problems. Okay, so that's all for today, and please do keep sharing, subscribing and referring to my channel. Prashant's Physics Classes is the name that is present, so please do watch it. Thank you.